There's a reason why nobody can just walk in and just excel at being a manager, even when you have the best players in the world. So, I mean, in conclusion, I guess, like you mentioned, we lost embarrassingly to Crystal Palace. I don't think anyone's going to debate that. We lost embarrassingly to Crystal Palace. Today we got just immensely lucky to beat Brighton. The two dominated us. They had more shots. I think almost 10, more than 10 more shots. They had 5 shots hit the woodwork. And we literally broke the rules to win. It's literally against the rules to call a penalty after the game has ended. So, I mean, your words cannot describe how lucky you were to beat relegation Brighton with our strongest starting 11. Like, the thing about luck is that in the long run, things revert to the mean. The thing about luck is that luck runs out. You don't stay lucky for forever. So, I mean, are you really going to sit here and tell me, are Manchester United fans really going to sit here and tell me that a single player on Brighton gets into our side? There isn't a single player on the Brighton team that gets into our starting 11. And you know what people are saying? Back Ole. He needs more players. The players aren't good enough. Shaw is fat. Wan-Bissaka can't go forward. Maguire is shit. Lindelof is shit. I mean, these players are leagues better than the sides we're getting dominated by. And yet they blame the players again and again and again and again. It's just infuriating. And mind you, Ole was the one, and by the way, it's the manager's job to get the best out of his players, right? And mind you, Ole was the one who wanted Maguire and who wanted AWB. So why does no one blame him when they do poorly? I thought his transfers were the best, right? I mean, isn't that what everyone tells me? You know, his signings are the best. He signs the best players. It's literally impossible to criticize Ole because his fans defend him no matter what. He's legitimately copy-pasted Pep's tactics at City and tried to force our roster into this 4-2-3-1. We don't play anything else. He's forced Pogba into being a DM. Pogba, literally one of the best, most creative players in the world, into being a defensive midfielder. He's forced Wan-Bissaka to go forward. Obviously, if Wan-Bissaka is at the opponent's goal, how the hell is he supposed to track all the way back when our opponents are ready to hit us on the break at any minute? I mean, nobody can run the length of the pitch in 2 seconds. That's just not humanly possible. Like, obviously, if you play a high line with Maguire and Lindelof, who everyone, and I mean everyone and their mom knows their biggest weaknesses are their pace. Obviously, they're going to get bloody exposed against teams who are just waiting to hit us on the break. I mean, it's so obvious how teams are preparing to beat us, and yet we've changed nothing. Like, I genuinely wonder what goes on in training. I really want to know, because fans have got to realize no player is perfect. There's not a perfect player in the world. Not even Messi is perfect. It's literally the manager's job to maximize the strengths of the player and turn it into winning. That's literally why you have a manager. Like, when Wan-Bissaka wasn't asked to push forward, people were saying he was probably one of the best right backs in England, maybe even Europe. Why are you asking him to push forward? If he's so fantastic at defending, why are you asking him to push forward when you have an attacking fullback in Luke Shaw? You don't need everyone to push forward. You know, like I said, Pogba is such a tremendous offensive player, a Ballon d'Or finalist, World Cup winner. Why are you making him sit behind a number 10 and dispossess people and recover balls? I mean, what on earth? You're using a Ferrari to buy groceries. It's so stupid. It's nonsensical. And then there's the argument that we haven't been spending enough in the transfer window. Since Ole's been appointed, our club has spent, in that window, we've spent, assuming we get tallies, which I'm pretty sure we're going to get, we've spent about $300 million, or £235 million. In that window, we are second among all clubs only to Chelsea, who have only spent 15 more pounds than us. And yet, all the fans are going to tell you, we haven't been backed. Mourinho's team, in 2017, allowed 28 goals, 8 goals fewer than us last year, with Valencia, Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, and Ashley Young. not one, I literally mean this, not one of which would even come close to making our starting 11. I mean, there's no defensive structure. I mean, you can't just throw talented players on the pitch and then expect them to play well and play like a team. That's just not how it works. You know, there's no more excuses. Manchester United fans have got to wake up. Like, I'm totally fine if the players like playing for Ole. He doesn't. I mean, you don't need to sack Ole to start to employ tactics. You know, just because he's the problem doesn't mean the solution is firing him. You know, he can be great as a man manager, like Ferguson was towards the end of his days, and but the problem is you have to bring in technical assistant coaches. You can't have. I mean, how long does it take before you realize that our assistant coaching staff is just not working? You know, so I mean, you have to realize that if you're Ollie.